Neymar to Manchester United. Neymar only wants Manchester United or PSG according to reports, and could be part of Sheikh Jassim's big plan if he becomes the next owner of United, with Neymar's good relationships with Qatar. Is there any truth in these stories? Is it just agent talk? We will dive into that. Harry Kane to Manchester United may be difficult with Daniel leaving. United could be exploring other options like Gonzalo Ramos. Min-Jae to United seems to be a deal that will happen, but that will happen more so in July when Min-Jae's release clause is obviously able to be activated. But a deal that could be happening now and very, very soon is Mason Mount. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed United are working hard and actively behind the scenes to make Mason Mount possibly Manchester United's first summer signing, although their number one priority is Harry Kane. And United also reportedly working on a deal for Diogo Costa, which comes out not long after Ten Hag was hinting that David will not be the number one transfer choice next year. Transfer choice? Goalkeeper, not be the number one starting 11 goalkeeper next season. What am I on about? Today's video is going to be a deep dive into the Manchester United transfer news and news coming about today. We've got a lot of transfer stories. I'm going to talk about the stories, what's been said, what's agent talk, what's reliable, what I think will happen on the transfer front. We might dive into a bit of the Moises Caicedo situation as well, because I think if we sign Mason Mount, and I'm going to say this now, we have to sign Moises Caicedo. Bruno, in my opinion, Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, midfield three doesn't quite work. I think it works. I think it's good. It's an improvement on Eriksen, but there's some liabilities defensively there. Moises Caicedo can sometimes be deployed at right back for Brighton, and you see him playing that inverted role that Manchester City have been doing recently, and Arsenal tried it the other day in their 5-0 win versus Wolves. Potentially, you've got Moises Caicedo that can cover Casemiro, can play in that Mount role next to Casemiro and offer more competition to Mount and Bruno. But also, if we do play in midfield three of Casemiro, Mount, Bruno in the bigger games, Moises Caicedo can help out the defensive side of Mount and Bruno's role as an inverted kind of fullback. And I do want to talk about that, but I will save that for later. I want to dive, before I talk about my thoughts and opinions, into the news, starting with Neymar, and then we'll get into Mount, and then we'll get into Kane, and then we'll get into Gonzalo Ramos. We've got a lot of transfer news to get to. So, what was said on Neymar? It was said Neymar has partnerships and contracts with Qatar and the Qatar brand. These relationships favour a possible signature to Manchester United if the club is bought by Sheikh Jassim. Neymar is seduced by Manchester United and can only be seen there or at PSG. Now, this is the third or fourth time that we've been linked to Neymar. We have been linked to Neymar, but then quickly after, English sources said this wasn't true. There is a possibility that this could be agent talk. Neymar, big name, United, big club. There's a possibility this could be agent talk to get Neymar the move he wants. Now, Neymar has reportedly going to turn down like a 300 million a year contract to go to Saudi Arabia because he wants to go to the Premier League. Maybe he's at the point where he feels he's wasted enough of his career in the French league. People don't take him seriously. He needs to go to the Premier League. And I think United and Chelsea are the two clubs that would be the only ones really willing to pay his wages. Now, I think that it's a very United signing, but is it a Ten Hag signing? We'll have to wait and see. Let's not doubt and let's not kid ourselves. Neymar is an unbelievable player, despite injuries, despite his unreliableness. When he plays, he's unbelievable. Does have Chelsea written all over it, but they're not in the Champions League. I think Neymar wants United. The feeling is that Neymar would want United or to go back to Barcelona, who probably won't be doing that deal if they cannot get Messi sorted, because Messi wants to go back to Barcelona. I don't see them getting Neymar sorted. Now, I generally believe that Neymar would like a move to United, and I think that this is one of those moves that if we have a poor transfer window, and we've still got the Glazers or Sir Jim, potentially in, and fans aren't happy, we've not got Kane, not a good transfer window, they go, oh, let's sign Neymar as a distraction. It's very PR, it's a very commercial move. I do think that United have had talks with PSG about Neymar, and I think PSG want to get rid of Neymar, and I think Neymar wants to come to United, but I don't know how much United are going to explore that. I think United, if they can get him on a free or on a loan deal where they only have to pay their wages, I don't see United saying no to that. But I think United are like, okay, we like Neymar, but he probably isn't on our list. He probably isn't one of our priorities. We'll wait and see what happens. That's what I think is going to happen with Neymar. I do think that this could also be a little bit of agent talks, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And look, I do think Neymar would be a good signing. He does improve us, but he's not a signing that we need to make. The signings that we need to make, in my opinion, like Moises Caicedo, like Harry Kane, or a top striker. I think Diogo, Costa, Min-Jae would be important signings as well. Neymar's someone that, wow, he's a fantastic player, but we've got Rashford that can play left wing. Worst comes to worst, Sancho can fill in there. We've got Garnacho that can play left wing. It's not one that we need to make, but it's one that Man United could possibly make. Now, one that we definitely need to make is a midfield signing. Now, do I think we need to make a move for Mason Mount? Not particularly. Do I see why Ten Hag wants Mason Mount? Yes. We played Casemiro as a DM with Mount and Bruno ahead. Ten Hag wants to play with 2 8s. We saw Fred in that 8 role versus Fulham, and I thought Fred was all right. But Mount has the capabilities that Fred have, the energy, the movement, the versatility, but he has abilities on the ball that we won't see from Fred. Fred could be inconsistent on the ball. We actually got a bang and assist, but we know what Fred's like on the ball. And Eriksen is good, but Eriksen doesn't have the engine or mobility to do that week in, week out, and Eriksen is very much a bench player. Mount is an improvement on Fred, Mount is an improvement on Eriksen, but does Mount, Bruno, Casemiro work as a midfield three? In my opinion, personally not. That's why I keep talking about Casado and maybe another defensive option. If we sign Mount, in my opinion, we've got to sign another midfielder, but I see why Ten Hag wants him. I do think, yes, he can't get into a dead Chelsea side, but, if we can see Casemiro and Fred getting literally 15 goal contributions this season, and Mason Mount used to normally get more than that, I think Ten Hag will bring out the best in Mason Mount, and I do think it will work, and I'm sure of that. I wouldn't spend more than 50 million on him. I think he's a bit overpriced because he's English, especially with 1 year left on his contract and his bad season, but he was Chelsea's player of the season 2 seasons in a row, and do not forget that. My opinion on Mount, I'm going to be clear with it. If we sign another top midfielder on top of Mount, I'm happy with it. If Mount is our marquee signing, I don't think he solves our problems. But Mason Mount United is very serious, and the reason I've been giving my opinion so much, I'm talking really fast, I'm sorry, on this Mason Mount story is because I generally believe we're going to sign Mason Mount. I generally believe it. Neymar, I'm not sure. Kane depends on Daniel Levy. Mason Mount, I think, could be Manchester United's first signing. Now, we know from David Ornstein and many reliable sources that Mason Mount's ideal destination next season is Manchester United, despite Pochettino coming in. I did sometimes wonder, is he doing this so he gets the contract he wants from Chelsea? But the amount of sources that have said this and the way that United are pursuing it, Mason Mount has spoken to Ten Hag. Mason Mount has pretty much chosen United, and Mason Mount was waving goodbye to those at Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano came out today, and obviously he spoke about the Mason Mount story and said, yes, this is serious, United are interested. But what Fabrizio Romano said today that was particularly interesting was Manchester United are really pushing behind the scenes to sign Mason Mount. And he's one of many good English journalists and sources also reporting this, that United are actually working on the Mason Mount deal now. There was a report I spoke about in a previous video where Ten Hag had reportedly told the board he wants at least one signing in coming in quick right at the start of the window, and that is why the Mason Mount talks have kind of started now, and they're trying to make Mason Mount the early window signing, get that kind of marquee position out of the way. I think Mason Mount is going to happen. I have a feeling it's going to happen. I think United will pursue Kane, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I think Neymar, it's one of those where I can see it happening, but I don't think it will happen. Min-Jae, I think there's a strong chance of it happening, but, it depends what United are going to do with this takeover. But Mason Mount, I think that one's going to happen. Now, talking of one that is United's number one priority in the transfer window that I'm not sure will happen is Harry Kane. Now, to give you context, this is Ten Hag's dream signing. This is Man United's number one target, and United would be prepared to offer 90 million for him, even maybe throw in Martial or Harry Maguire as part of a deal for Tottenham to lower the price. The problem is Daniel Levy knows Kane scores 30 goals. You put him in the United side that created the third most chances in the Premier League this season, but only scored the ninth most amount of goals. You give him a Bruno Fernandes that created the most big chances in the Premier League, the most shot creating actions, the most key passes, the most passes, and the highest expected assists in the Premier League. You give Kane that Bruno Fernandes, potentially a Sancho in form, even the service of Mount working with Bruno Fernandes, and Daniel Levy knows that there's not much catching United, and Daniel Levy hates the idea of Kane going to Manchester United. However, Daniel Levy won't want to lose him on a free, but Kane being 30, getting to that age, not wanting to be at Spurs, he could cash in 100 million, he could lose him on a free. Daniel Levy really wants Real Madrid or Bayern Munich to put in a big offer for Kane, but Kane might want to stay in England to go and win that all-time, break that record as the highest ever Premier League scorer, but then he also might be so desperate for trophies he could leave Spurs. I think if Kane has got any ambition, he will push for a United move, and I think if Kane pushes for a United move, it will happen, the Harry Kane situation. But I think it's if Kane pushes for it, because I think Daniel Levy will be difficult, and it was said by TalkSport that Tottenham Hotspur are confident of keeping Harry Kane this summer. Kane is a top of Erik ten Hag's shopping list, but Daniel Levy has no desire to sell to a Premier League rival. It was also said in the news today that Real Madrid, if they lose Benzema, who's got reports from got offers from the Middle East, would also pursue Kane and make Kane their number one choice. So potential competition from Bayern Munich and Real Madrid for Harry Kane, especially Real Madrid. I see that as a serious competition, but he might want to stay in the Premier League, and that wouldn't shock me. So I think it's really if Kane pushes for a move to United, that could happen. Now, if Manchester United don't sign Harry Kane, I'm going to say this now, keep an eye on Gonzalo Ramos. Bruno Fernandes talking about how brilliant Gonzalo Ramos is today. Gonzalo Ramos is someone that we've been scouting. Romano said that United have a genuine interest on Gonzalo Ramos. United want a striker that's ready now, and they feel that Osimhen is way out of the budget, too expensive. They're a little bit reluctant to take that risk on Vlahovic. As good as he is, he has had a poor season for Juventus, and he doesn't quite offer that kind of press that United need. They think Højlund is a fantastic player, but they're not sure he's quite ready now, and United believe they need a striker that's ready now. And while Gonzalo Ramos, United know is young, maybe not quite ready now, they know that Gonzalo Ramos is scoring goals in the World Cup, scoring goals for Benfica regularly, and is a bit more of a proven goal scorer than Højlund. Now, it is said that, you know, United will do what they can to get Kane, but if they don't, Højlund and Gonzalo Ramos will be the options they are looking at. Now let's talk about centre-backs. Min-Jae, United in for Min-Jae. Has come out by decent sources that Min-Jae wants to move to the Premier League. United and Newcastle are the two leading the race for Min-Jae, and Min-Jae would prefer to move to United. It is said that there was reports that United had an agreement with Min-Jae and gave him a massive offer. I don't think there's any agreement or any official proposals because United have not got this takeover sorted. But the reports are saying that Min-Jae has spoken to United. Ten Hag presented this project to Min-Jae, and that Min-Jae gave the impression to United that yes, he wants to go there, and United will pay his release clause in July. We'll have to wait and see what happens as time goes on, but I do think Min-Jae very likely to happen. And one that I'm 50-50 about is Diogo Costa to Manchester United. Manchester United have been scouting Diogo Costa. We have been looking at Diogo Costa, and he's a fantastic keeper. And if you watched my video earlier and we got to Ten Hag's quotes on De Gea, Ten Hag made it kind of obvious that De Gea might not be the first choice goalkeeper next season, and why he likes De Gea, the way football is moving, you need someone that's better with your feet. That is Diogo Costa. It was actually said today that Diogo Costa has likely played his last game for FC Porto. He has not been selected to play in their cup final, and Diogo Costa should move to the Premier League. His desire is United, who admit to pay his €75 million release clause, which is £65 million. So a lot of reports coming out saying Diogo Costa likes the idea of United. He wants the Premier League. It's very likely he's going to go. I think this happens depending on our budget. I think we sign Mount. I think we go for Kane. If we don't get Kane, we sign a striker. I think we activate Min-Jae's release clause. That's our money spent, and then it depends how much we make through sales of Dean Henderson, Maguire, and McTominay. And if a significant amount of money is left, maybe they trigger Diogo Costa's release clause, or maybe it's paper talk. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you found this video kind of clear. It's more of a transfer roundup. I wanted to get straight to the point on all the transfer news, and I hope you found this video informing. I will be back live tomorrow, and there will be a video tomorrow morning on takeover news. So smash a like, smash a subscribe. See you next time. Bye.